Morning, Tuesday morning, super quiet. Look at the markets, almost flat, everything flat. Nothing, the only thing up more than 1% is coffee, which is up 2.3%. I bought the gold last night. It's literally at the price I bought it at. If you look at last night, I think I bought it here. It ticked up a little bit. Now it's ticking down a little bit. But I think we're okay. I think we've spent enough time up here. This is a new high. So once you've actually confirmed you've broken out a new high, should be all right. This was the old high here. So gonna stay up here. But we're sort of in that mode. There's less trading opportunities intraday. So take some shots at things that last a little bit longer. Of course, that was the idea yesterday. If I'd held on to the British pound and the Australian dollar, would be up a little bit, but not a huge amount. British pound's up 0.33%. Australian dollar's up 0.31%. So those two are in the green, but we got out of those. Uh, One of the big things in trading is just shifting your philosophy and your trading style according to the conditions. And now it's like you want to make a little bit of money, maybe try to hold overnight. But even I held overnight in literally gold. Did almost absolutely nothing. I'm sure the account was showing me up at some point, being up 10,000 overnight because it got all the way up to up 10 points. Right now it just says minus 500. Um, but, I'm able to look at the chart here and see what the high was last night. So the high was about 32.50. I can tell right here. The high, yeah, 32.49. So I bought 32.37, which is at right now. So 32.49. So we would have been up 10 grand or something at some point. So that just shows you this little fluctuation between here and here is $10,000 in the account. Of course, that's the point. We have $1 million account, so we adjust the expected, the risk and everything according to the size of the account. But anyways, I do think coffee is interesting. So just a quick run through on the thinking of it. Now, if you remember, I had shorted coffee, so we have this sharp move down like this out of this big range. Had these ranges, and normally, it'll flag out, and then if it chops down, it could go a lot lower. But this flag here, and it broke these lows, and now it's coming right back. Now, remember I shorted it, so, there's a very powerful trade, which is breaks out one of these ranges in a powerful way, shoots down, makes this low, and then comes back up. Now, the daily, it's a little bit harder to see, but you always short that first bounce. And so I did get a good trade out of it. I think I made 15,000, you know. So if I pull this up on this chart, this is the idea is that you find trades within these patterns. So here's your breakout to the downside. I think I tried to catch a little bit of it and got stopped out on one of the wild days, probably this range here. So you missed out on most of this, but you short that so that first rally back. And the point is these things they always end up at the extremes at the end of the day. So it's good to trade in the morning and at night. But you can see, so this is the first retracement back. So I actually got a price off up here somewhere, and I think I covered down here. So that was the $15,000. And then that trades over. You hold it for a day. Didn't make news, but that trades over. And you don't know. Maybe it's going to continue. Maybe it's not. But now this turned out to be a low. This turned out to be a retracement. And so now that we've broken above this, now it's officially signaled, okay, this is now a short-term uptrend. On the daily charts, this is an uptrend now. Now, what makes this more interesting is, this one day it's a short, the next day it's a long. What's interesting is that it shoots down, you short the first bounce, and then we've got a downtrend, and then it has to go make a new low instead of, this major point. These 2 points, the point is this pattern repeats itself. You have your breakout, your first retracement, and then this is just this consistent trade that is just so reliable as shorting that first day or whatever it is back. But now that this is happening, so this could have happened, come down, bounce up, and then want to make new lows. But less likely because normally if it's going to heed that breakout, you don't have such a sharp rally back. But anyway, so now we're confirming that it's moving up. Now it's quite slow right now. It's not 367. I think it's closer to 369. Yeah, 369.50 live quote from this website. Again, just the softs in this account have delayed quotes, so it's not 367. So this one's moving higher, but what makes the trade particularly interesting is that when you have a breakout from a major support area like this, it breaks down. And again, we're not talking about the first bounce. We're talking about, okay, and it doesn't, there may be no first bounce. You could short it here and it never goes down, and it can be a false breakout. But if it goes down far enough, usually there's that first bounce. But now it's going to move back into that range. So you had a lot of people that would have shorted it here. So there's got to be a lot of, we're probably selling all the way down here. So as it moves back into this range, it can be a powerful move up to the other side of this range. Now, I talked about that in the same sort of idea in Australian dollar. Now, these currencies move slow, and like I said, I sort of missed the boat on staying long this from yesterday. But I mean, it's not that it's making a lot of progress you see in the context of things, but it just tick, 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 tick higher. So Australian dollar is not a super fast trading market, but you can see that it's come all the way. It's the same idea. Falls, there's your breakout, and then you got your first trade back. So I'm sure that pattern, would have played itself out as well. You have your that sell-off break, and then you have your first opportunity to come up, first breakdown. It actually had two opportunities like that. But again, that's the currencies. Currencies just take longer to do everything. So now we're actually coming all. We retraced this entire thing, and we're coming all the way back through it. And so sometimes you can get a out of here with all the people that got on the wrong side of it. Now, same thing. So it's just the same idea in coffee right now. Rally down. We spent some time down here, and then now we could have a powerful rally back through. And like I said, we don't have the luxury of the risk profile we had where we're able to just sort of jump in for a day and get out. This might be something we have to hold longer than a day. But anyways, we've just broken out above this previous high here. So I want to buy it. The other reason I haven't just bought it already is because it's pre-market. It's done this, and a lot of times the market opens, and then things will retrace whatever happened overnight. So maybe it'll come down a little bit, and I'll have a better buying opportunity. Because especially with a market like coffee, which doesn't have a lot of volume, and it's it, you know I'd be a little more comfortable if it was a bigger market to not get hurt in it and not have it slam me down. But it's just ticking higher right now. Wants to make a new high above 370. Um, as the market opens and we get closer to 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., a lot of times the market readjust. There's just, you could say, arbitrage. A lot of big funds that do a lot of different things rebalance their positions. I don't know what's going on, but volume comes in. I mean, the same thing happens in the stock market. There's not a huge gap, but a big gap overnight. It'll retrace back towards the previous day, and then it may continue higher, it may not. But that is a pretty typical pattern. So um, no matter what I decide to do, it'll probably do the opposite. If I decide to wait, it'll just keep going higher. But anyway, that's on my list to buy. And it happens to be the one that is the only thing that's really up above or down 1%. It's 2.4%. So watching that could be a good trade again. The idea is to hold a little bit longer. When the markets are less volatile, you can do that. That's the point, is adjusting your trading strategy according to the environment. So with these crazy moves, you hold and you get the hell out overnight because you don't know what's going to happen. And now it's like, okay, you want to make some money. Well, less volume, less volatility, less quick money. Maybe you got to hold overnight, but you know, That shows you, like, coulda, shoulda, woulda, should have held British pound and Australian dollar overnight. Those are the two currencies that are up. Like I said, we're flat in gold. It's showing us $270. It was nothing. So nothing's moving today. Markets are not moving. It's spring break time, tax day, whatever's going on. So that's what we're doing. Maybe buy coffee, maybe wait a little bit and buy coffee, wait for a dip.